How many of you are aware of the 2012-time Grammy winner Taylor Swift's new boyfriend? That's right. Travis Kelce, NFL superstar and Kansas City Chiefs tight end, is supposedly dating Taylor. It's been all over social media lately. The rumors started on Travis's podcast New Heights on YouTube with his brother Jason. So you've already highlighted two effects of social media on athletes, and I'd like to share the rest with you. I'm credible to talk to you about this topic because I study sports news from around the world, including statistics, transactions, and of course, hairstyle changes. A reason to listen to me today is because it'll make you smarter as we discuss what social media can do to and for an athlete. First, we'll talk about the mental health risk, then the defamation risk, and finally, the post-playing career success opportunities. These are three effects every famous athlete can expect from social media today, so let's start with the mental side. First, mental health risk is something we should never take less serious, especially in an opportunity with sports. LeBron James, one of the greatest NBA players of all time, has been subject to this. When John Brandon, a social media analyst for Forbes, sat down and did a study, he found over 100,000 negative tweets aimed towards LeBron James in a single month. John said that when you post a negative comment, you're more likely to see a bigger traction. And when you combine that idea with a professional sports player that creates traction on his own, you're more likely to see a crazy influence. How would you react if you were scrolling on Twitter and one day you just saw an entire feed filled with hate towards you? A great example of what could happen is Kai Havertz, a professional soccer player in England. He was purchased by Chelsea FC in August of 2020 in the Premier League from his club in Germany. They spent £75.8 million to acquire him. Before the purchase, he was putting up numbers close to Lionel Messi, one of the greatest players of all time. Only with 5 more goals and 1 less assist at the same age as Messi, we could assume that Havertz was on the same trajectory as Messi was. However, after the purchase, only 47 goal involvements in 139 appearances with Chelsea. He sat down with Sid Lowe, a football writer for The Guardian in the UK, and said that when he doesn't score, he sees posts online about how bad he is, and that the team needs to sell him. But when he plays well, they love him again. This, he said, had a huge effect on his confidence, and we can see that with his statistics. His support group, his girlfriend, helps him keep a level head when he comes home from work and has to put dishes in the dishwasher. Now that you know about the mental health risk, let's move towards the defamation risk. What is defamation? Defamation is the act of defaming or damaging someone's reputation through untrue statements. Who here has seen a post like this online? I know you can laugh because it is sometimes funny, like superstars in the NBA, Damian Lillard, Russell Westbrook, or Ja Morant, claiming that they need to be freed from Portland or that they really hate the Toronto Raptors. And while the last one is probably not true, it could have been true. Ja Morant probably played that night. However, a post from an account called Real NBA Quotes is something that we should probably take seriously. With the traction that it gained with 11,000, 14,000, and 29,000 likes, somebody that doesn't practice media literacy skills likely thought that these were true statements. This can affect their reputation, and this is something they have no control over whatsoever. A great example of what we should be doing is Giannis Antetokounmpo, 2-time NBA MVP and 7-time NBA All-Star. When he was asked last season after he was eliminated from the playoffs by the Miami Heat, a reporter said, "Do you think this season was a failure?" He said, "There is no failure in sports. There's steps to success." He rebutted the reporter, saying, "Do you get a promotion every year?" And then he said that when Michael Jordan played for 15 years and only won 6 championships, were the other 9 a failure? This is a great answer, and it's something that set social media on fire, but it's not what I want to talk about. He spent 2 minutes on this answer, explaining exactly why he said it. He didn't stop and say, "There's no failure in sports, whatever, next question please." He thoroughly answered the question to make sure that he was not taken out of context, saying, "I don't want to make it personal." He even said that when he asked the question last year, he didn't answer him because he was afraid of being in the wrong mindset and not giving a correct answer. Now that you're aware of the defamation risk, let's move towards a more positive effect of social media, opportunities for post-playing career success. How many of you have seen an advertisement like this? David Pastrnak of the NHL's Boston Bruins sitting in the penalty box drinking a Dunkin' Donuts cold brew, or Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce sitting on the sidelines with Jake from State Farm promoting insurance. These advertisements promote monetary gain and exposure towards the athletes. We can then move to punditry. Pat McAfee is an ex-football punter for the Indianapolis Colts. When he retired, he started a podcast on YouTube called The Pat McAfee Show, which amassed plenty of followers and was recently acquired by ESPN. He's now on TV every Saturday afternoon doing college game days, and his show appears on ESPN+. Even the New Heights podcast, like I spoke about earlier with Jason and Travis Kelce, they sit down with NFL quarterbacks, both current and ex, and talk about experiences that we probably wouldn't have heard about. Or my personal favorite, the NBA on TNT, with Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley, 2 of the greatest NBA players of all time, after they retired, were hired by TNT, and now shove each other into Christmas trees and race to the board to analyze a specific play. Jeff Kabush, who's an ex-Olympic cyclist for the Canadian national team, sat down with Georgia Wells, a social media analyst for Wall Street Journal, and said that he's a middle-aged guy who's still able to make a living off of his favorite sport. It helped extend his career just like the other guys. With over 20,000 Instagram followers, he's today able to extend his career. Now that I've told you about the potential post-playing career success opportunities, let's revisit what I've spoke about here today. First, I talked about the mental health risk. Then, the defamation risk. And finally, we spoke about the post-playing career success opportunities for athletes everywhere. What now? See, I chose to study this topic because I have a lot of friends around the world who are striving to become the next big athlete. My friend Pat plays at the University of Delaware, and he's playing very well. I hope that one day I'll be able to help him steer away from the negative effects of social media and towards the positive ones. And after listening to me today, I hope you can too.